Dan Downing, University of Missouri Extension Water Quality Specialist. I'd like to talk with you today about the basics of a drip irrigation system. So when we get into this, as we move into this, we need to make a couple of assumptions. Those assumptions are that this is going to be used with a small scale commercial operation or a large backyard garden. We also need to make some assumptions about your water supply. We have to assume that you have a good, clean water supply, such as a private well or a public water supply, that can supply you with about 8 gallons per minute of flow at pressures somewhere between 20 and about 50 pounds per square inch. There are some ways to compensate for that a little bit, and we will talk about those as we go through the hardware that I have laid out here in front of me. And at this point, I'd back up just a step and say we are real advocates for using some of the kits that are put together by the distributors, because this way most of your parts are already pre-matched to each other. If you start mixing from one brand of component to another brand of component, from one size to another size, it's very easy to get overwhelmed, especially if you're at a big box store or one of the stores that has several options. So with that, let's jump into the hardware. The first item I'd like to show you is this little device. It is a backflow preventer. It's a safety device that screws on to your outdoor water hydrant. This may be a standalone freeze-proof hydrant, or it could be one on the side of a house. This device literally screws onto it, allows water to flow through it one way, relatively unrestricted, but prevents it from coming back the other way. This can be pretty important if you're using any kind of an additive in your drip irrigation system. Commonly, people will add fertilizer, a liquid fertilizer, to their drip irrigation system. We refer to that as fertigation. So again, a safety device. The next item that I would highlight to you is an adapter. This particular adapter has pipe thread on one side and garden hose thread on the other side, complete with the rubber washer in here to make sure that it doesn't leak and that you don't have any pressure loss. So next device in the system to get the water where you want it. Okay, now we're really getting into kind of the heart of the drip irrigation system. This particular device is referenced as a spin-off water filter. This is critically important. As we'll see in a minute, the drip irrigation tape has tiny little holes in it that we call emitters. Those emitters can become clogged very, very easily because they are so small. Even hard water buildup can eventually clog those emitters and prevent them from working right. So difficult to see, but on this particular device there is a flow directional arrow right here that I'm pointing to. So the flow is through here. This side is literally a clean out. So the water comes in, flows through the filter, and can be opened. The valve can be opened as a drain at the end of the season, or if you think it's going to get clogged up or starting to get clogged up, you can open it up and do that. So we're going to unscrew it here. As I mentioned, it's considered a spin-off filter. Got the housing, and inside of that housing is this very fine mesh stainless steel screen with rubber gaskets on both ends to ensure that the water goes through it, and it'll filter out a large quantity of the particulate that can be found in the water supply. Will it filter out hard water deposits? No. It's really not intended for that, but larger particles, it'll get rid of those for you.